Let's cross to the Syrian city of Latakia. Dr. Richard Brennan is Regional Emergencies Director for the World Health Organization. Thank you for speaking with us on France 24.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
it's 3 days on, and for the first time, a convoy crossing over from Turkey into northwest Syria. Your reaction on that?
Well, it's overdue. It's very welcome. The needs are massive, and we collectively have to scale up our operations, both in the northwest of Syria and in the government's held area as well, where I am currently here in Latakia.
Two challenges, I suppose, for all aid agencies like yours. One is that your field workers, well, they're just like everybody else, in some cases homeless, in some cases searching for loved ones.
No, you're absolutely right. I've been coming to Syria just about every year for the last 10 years, and I've seen the Syrian people go through conflict and displacement and disease outbreaks and the pandemic and economic decline. But this is different. It really is. I think it's different because of the scale and the acuteness, how suddenly it happened. 10 million people suddenly affected right across Syria. Here in Latakia, 142,000 people made homeless just within a matter of minutes. Thousands killed within a matter of minutes, and 13,000 injured. So, this is the sense that you get speaking to the Syrian people, our staff, the communities that we're visiting, just how rattled they've been. These most resilient of people. This one has been a real punch in the gut, I have to say, for the Syrian people, but they're responding remarkably.
Yeah, and the World Health Organization saying that beyond the usual threats that follow a disaster like this one, diarrhea, cholera, etc., those are being compounded by the cold weather, you say?
Yeah, no, it's very cold here. So we've just been out visiting communities that have, lost their homes. 142,000 people, as I mentioned, here in Latakia. And many of them have been forced into these overcrowded shelters. We were at one shelter today, 400 people, one toilet. So you can imagine the suffering, the risk of disease spread. So shelter really is perhaps the biggest need here right now. Shelter and comfort to people. We're not at the scale we need with this response. We are working with officials, local officials, and trying to scale up, but there's a long way to go.
One final question: how's coordination going so far between UN agencies, the private charities, and the Syrian government?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a work in progress. It always is. When we're scaling up, there's a large geographic area to cover. So we're on the road today. We met with the Minister of Health. He was coming back from Aleppo. We were heading north. So we had a good, clear conversation, and I think we were pretty aligned on our priorities. Last night, we met with all our UN partners in Damascus, again, getting that alignment. We've met with non-governmental organizations and the governor here in Latakia today. It's a work in progress, but I think we're collectively getting a better idea of what the needs are, what the gaps are, and trying not to duplicate what we're all doing. We're trying to spread our limited resources at this stage as evenly as possible. But we have to continue that dialogue. We're having dinner tonight with our friends from UNICEF, again, to ensure that coordination works well.
Dr. Richard Brenner, Regional Emergencies Director for the World Health Organization, thank you so much for speaking with us on France 24.